Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Carrie is with us in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Carrie. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Oh, my goodness. It's an honor to be on your show.
Honored to have you. How can we help?
So I'm really just looking for debt advice. We are struggling to pay back an SBA loan, payments for my husband's franchise that is now closed.
Ouch.
Yeah.
How much
you
debt is
borrowed,
it?
you borrowed how much on an SBA loan to buy a franchise?
It was a total of $223,000.
Okay. What kind of franchise?
It was a moving company. He kind of bought it at a premium because it was already in existence, and we really were under the impression it would be successful. And unfortunately, I don't know if it was just due to the market at the time, but it was really obvious after about a year that it was not going to be profitable anytime soon. And so he made the decision to close it, and it was a big risk to begin with, but we decided to go ahead and just close it and move on. He does have a great job now that he loves, thankfully.
What does he make?
But about $70,000 now.
What do you make?
I make $48,000.
Do you guys have any other debt?
We don't. Well, we have a very small car loan remaining and our house payment. Mm-hmm. We have about $200,000 left on our house.
Are there any assets at all left over from the business?
From the business, no.
You sold them or what?
Yes, everything was sold and wiped out.
The actual franchise itself, is the brand still open?
Yes.
Can you not sell that franchise to someone?
No, it wasn't going to be, and no, it wasn't going to be an option. They couldn't help us with that.
Wow.
Why?
That's a good question. We asked the question at the time, and it was going to be a very, very long process to even try to find a buyer. And I don't know. Honestly, I
assume the franchisor has approval over any buyer, but even if you could sell the thing for $10,000 to somebody that just wanted that franchise, because they're probably selling that franchise to a brand new franchisee for a good deal more than that, correct?
It's possible. They kind of just dissolved it in our territory, and it was picked up by somebody else who's further away. And so
you've lost your rights to it by now then, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it was closed. We closed it in February.
Now, closing it is different than the actual franchise. A franchise is an element that is actually a right that you have that you paid for.
Right. Sorry. So it has expired and it's dissolved.
Okay. All right.
Man.
Well, so you got $233,000 on 110.
Yeah.
$23,000 a year is 10 years. $50,000 a year is 5 years. What are you going to do to get your income up so it goes faster?
I'm not sure. We're hoping that his job, so far it's going well, but
what did he do before this?
Hope for his promotion. He's in operations and logistics management. He's worked for Amazon for a few years, and he worked for another company for a few years.
What did he make before he quit and started the franchise?
He was making about $109,000.
That sounds more like logistics than 70.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And he lost that job in January 2021. They had a restructuring in the business.
Yeah, but the logistics world, if he knows supply chain and he knows how to lay that out, that's a 6-figure income.
Yes, you would think that.
No, I wouldn't think. I know.
Job, but right.
And you live in Tampa, freaking Florida. There's logistics there for sure.
We're
okay. Let me tell you, Carrie. Here's what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys got the crap beat out of you, and your husband's lost his confidence, and you have too.
Yeah.
And he doesn't feel like he's worth what he's actually worth because of this failure. I need you guys, for your sake, to go get him a job making 110. He needs to get back in the marketplace with his shoulders thrown back and a little swagger in his step again. He's not a bad guy. You guys just made a mistake and bought a business that you didn't know how to run and ran it in the ground, and you've lost your butts. But that doesn't mean you're horrible people or you're dumb people or that suddenly he's not worth 110 when he probably actually is.
At least.
One of the things I had to recover from when I went broke, and mine was a lot more dramatic, although there's, what is major surgery? Surgery that happens to you. What's minor surgery? Surgery that happens to somebody else, right? So yours is very dramatic for you, I'm sure, and traumatic. But one of the things I had to recover from was I felt like an idiot. I felt like why should anybody trust anything I ever think again? Because I was so stinking arrogant before it knocked me completely out of the saddle. And I don't think your husband was that guy, but it's normal when you go through this. It's the death of a dream, and part of your soul dies when you close that door and turn the key for the last time and walk away.
That definitely sounds clear. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to give you permission to grieve that, but I also want you to keep perspective on it, and him to keep perspective on it, because I think he took just something to get a job, and he's just kind of curled up in the corner, wounded right now.
We definitely went through that. We are hopeful for this job. I mean, he applied for jobs for almost a year before he decided to open the franchise. And we're on the outskirts of Tampa. We're not really in Tampa, so we weren't finding anything at all. And so when this opportunity currently that he's working for came along, he's really, really enjoying the job, and we're hoping.
Well, I'm glad, but you have $223,000 worth of debt, and he needs to make a lot more.
Yeah. Well, my.
Okay, that's how it's going to be done, kiddo. I'm not going to argue with you anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, I understand where you are. I've been where you are. And I'm sorry that you've been through all this pain. But yeah, you've got to. The big math says you need to put $50,000 a year on it, and you can do that with your current income if you live on beans and rice, and it's going to take you 5 years. Or you can increase your income by $40,000 and do this in 3 or 4 years, and not have to live on beans and rice while you're doing it. And I really think that there's a tie-in here. When you get hit this hard, you look for a safe place to hide. And human nature does that. You want to go back to something where I'm,
no risk, I don't
want to stick my head up. I'll get it knocked off again. I don't want to do that. So thank you for your call. That's the answer. You take the 223 and you divide it into the number of years you want to fool with this. And what have you got to do? What has to be true to make that happen? And part of that is healing from this the rest of the way. And you're making excuses. You are. And part of that tells me you haven't healed from this the rest of the way. So you shouldn't have asked if you didn't want me to tell you.
That's true.
And guys, let me just tell you, those of you in business out there, well, business debt doesn't count. Business debt is good debt. Tell that to Carrie. All right? You go take out a $200,000 loan to buy a business. You're in stupid land. And you do that with an SBA loan, you're in super stupid land. Because SBA is forever. They do not go away. They're like a student loan. And I'm not saying Carrie's stupid. I'm just saying any of you that are thinking about doing this, you need to listen to her call. Because, we're not going to, well, right. Debt only works when debt works, and that's never. You get your butt bit off here, man, people. You got to stop it. You got to stop it. Ouch.